What's up, guys? Lore here again with more Heart of the Swarm beta action. We've got a Terran vs. Protoss this time up here in the northeast corner. We have our Protoss player in the red. I have no idea how to pronounce this name. Let's just call him quEweA. quEweA. Whatever. That's his name now. And in the southwest corner, we have our good buddy Derp, aka Riff. Who, once again, was the player who sent in this particular replay. Side note, if you'd like to have a shot at me casting your replays and uploading them to YouTube and casting them live on my Twitch channel, you can send those in to devolore, DEVOLORE, at gmail.com, and please do so. I want to cast every single replay. I want to cast every single game of Heart of the Swarm that has ever been played. Anyway, let's talk about this game a little bit. Northeast corner here, Protoss player. Let's look at the map. Let's look at the layout of the surroundings. This is a very, very large main. Lots of hidden corners around here to be able to hide sneaky little stuff in. Obviously, the same would go down here for the Terran as well. It can hide a pylon here or over here. Going to want to, maybe not right there because it looks like he's going to be able to spot that just by randomly building stuff. But there are sneaky little corners in this particular map. Right down here, we have our natural expansion. We have a small ramp. Natural expansion right over here. There are a couple of entrances into this natural expansion. There's this path right over here, which goes over here to this, what I would probably call the third or fourth base. This would actually probably be a third base to take most of the time. And it is blocked by these destructible rocks over here. However, it can be reached through this backdoor expansion. There's actually this collapsible rock tower here as well. So interesting little strategy options that open up right there. You can actually take this as your third base, kill this collapsible rock tower, and then it is completely blocked off by all entrances except for this one, unless they were to take out one of those destructible rocks. So I know that destructible rocks have been kind of considered a pain in the ass a lot of times, but I'm actually really, really liking collapsible rocks and how those work together with the destructible rocks. It opens up a lot of strategical options on maps like this one. Also have another base over here. I would call this a good fourth, sometimes a third if you're going for a more aggressive play style. Another map over here, or excuse me, another base over here. And then this is an interesting little setup here. These Xel'Naga watchtowers. This is a two-player map, I'm pretty sure. Actually, that may be wrong. That may be incorrect. No, I'm actually pretty sure that this is a two-player map. So we have these Xel'Naga towers, but they're way off in the corners. Very strange positioning for those Xel'Naga towers. It does sort of let you get an eye on if somebody's coming around to maybe break into your collapsible rocks, but otherwise I'm not exactly sure what the overall point of those would be. I guess there is this extra path that you can push up here, but it seems like you would be able to see them coming by the time that they are over there anyway. Anyway, let's look at what these players are actually doing. Up here, our Protoss player, quEweA. Very, very normal opening, normal-looking opening. He's now getting his second gas. He's already got his Cyber Core up, getting out a Stalker. Did he build anything? He did build one Zealot. Okay, so he has this one Zealot out, one Stalker. Zealot just sort of poking around on the front. We have a Reaper coming up for Riff, so this will be interesting. The Reapers now, they do have the ability to... They've gotten a lot better with harassment, actually. They have the ability to heal rapidly outside of combat, although they have lost their... Uh-oh, it doesn't look like he's actually going to get away at all. He's just going to go ahead and die. They finish talking about the Reapers real quick. They have the ability to heal very rapidly outside of combat. You could jump in there, do some damage, and then come hide him down over here or something, and he will regenerate his health very, very quickly. Excuse me, and the trade-off for that is that they have lost their grenade ability. They no longer do nearly as much damage to buildings. They are mostly just there to get into the mineral lines, harass some workers, maybe pick off like a Marine or two here and there. But we do have a little bit of a push coming out here for quEweA. He's got two Stalkers and a Zealot, and it looks like he's going for a standard 4-gate. So very, very nice to see. I'm actually really, really curious to see how this turns out. As a lot of you may know, I played primarily Protoss when I was playing StarCraft 2 and Wings of Liberty. So I did a whole lot of 4-gating myself, and I'm really curious to see how well this actually works out in Heart of the Swarm. Now, one important thing to point out that I'm not sure if it's been confirmed as a bug on some maps, or if it's actually just how things work in Heart of the Swarm. You are not able to warp up to a high ground position from a pylon on the low ground, even if you have vision. That's something, again, I'm not sure if it was a bug, if it was a glitch in the couple of matches that we've seen. Oh, that Warhound is out there and just one-shot that probe. I guess that's what happens when your probes are mechanical units. But he is able now to start warping stuff in, and he's probably going to want to warp in on that high ground, but he's not going to be able to. This Warhound is taking a lot of damage. They're really good, but I don't think they can take on that many Stalkers. However, the Stalkers are sort of running around in circles. That bunker is now down. Those guys are going to get destroyed. So this is a very, very scary 4-gate push coming in from quEweA. He's not producing anything else just yet. Now, there we go. Here comes another wave. 3 Zealots and a Stalker. The Warhounds are starting to push him back a little bit, and he's doing some damage where he can. But ultimately, these 2 Warhounds, that's really all he has. He's got 2 Marines and 2 Warhounds. That's his entire army. He's just now lost half of his army, essentially. And he's trying to repair that Warhound as quickly as he can, but he's not going to be able to repair it fast enough. Now tearing through everything else. There is a Hellion out on the map now, but I don't know what a Hellion's going to do against all this. This is actually looking really, really scary for our Terran friend here, Riff. Getting torn apart. He is starting to be able to pick away at those Stalkers. They've gotten themselves, and there, as you can see, he was not able to warp in up onto the high ground. Had to warp in on the low ground. Is able to start doing some damage, and that repair is doing so much. He's not going to, wow, he's not going to be able to finish off the last remaining Warhound because of that repair. Very nice quick thinking from Derp. Very nice kind of overpoweredness from the Warhound. Good job, sir. You are entirely too strong and need to be nerfed. And they are actually being nerfed very, very soon. But this is still a scary-looking push. If he can get up that ramp, in fact, let's check his main base here real quick. It doesn't look like he's worrying about doing anything else. Honestly, if I were him, I would be sending the Mothership Core down there as well. It's very slow, but it does do a decent amount of damage when you activate that, Purify ability. But, yes, very scary-looking push. But it is looking less and less scary by the moment. The thing about a 4-gate is the longer it takes, the worse position you're in. Just barely going to be able to pick off that final Warhound. There is another one just about to pop out, though, and that will put Riff once again in the 1 Warhound army situation. Wow, this sucks for quEweA. I don't think he realizes the position he's in, and now there's a whole bunch of Marines out as well. A little bit awkward on the target firing, but he's going to be able to take down all those Marines. Let's once again check the unit tab. We have 1 Hellion and 1 Warhound to Riff's name. That is all he has. He takes out 1 more Stalker. Could have finished off that other one, but didn't quite micro that properly. Now coming in here to do some more damage. Has several SCVs repairing that Warhound, and that is just way too much repairing to be able to get through that for these Stalkers. He's going to slowly be able to whittle them all down once again, and quEweA is going to have to pull back and try to regroup yet again. quEweA is actually now, even though this seems weird to say, even though he's up in supply, even though Riff only has now 2 Warhounds, 1 Hellion, and 4 Marines to his name, compared to the 8 Stalkers of quEweA. Oh, he does barely manage to pick that thing off. And in fact, he might have a chance here. He's going to go after that second Warhound, take that one down as well, but just barely too much. And it looks like Riff is going to be able to push this back yet again. So now, obviously, quEweA's in a terrible position. Honestly, he was in a bad position even before this. He is spending entirely too much time on this 4-gate aggression. Honestly, with the position that Riff is in right now, it might be a good idea for him to go ahead and pull back. In fact, Riff has put up an engineering bay at quEweA's natural expansion, so an expansion may just be completely out of the question for quEweA at this point. He might not be able to do it at all. He's going to pull back here and try and kill that off, but that's going to give Riff the breathing room he needs. And the supplies have somewhat evened up as well. Riff now at 35 supply and quEweA at 39. So that 4-gate held on by the miracle defense by the Warhound. Absolutely ridiculous how much that 1 Warhound was able to do that entire time. Literally, there were so many times all he had remaining in his base was a Warhound at half health, and the SCVs repaired it, and that was it. This is why the Warhound is being nerfed, and honestly, it may still not be nerfed enough. They are lowering the amount of time it takes for it to attack. I believe it's going from 1.7 attacks, or excuse me, an attack every 1.3 seconds to an attack every 1.7 seconds. But that may not even be enough at this point. We're going to have to wait and see once that patch is actually live. I don't believe it's live just yet as I'm recording this. But it should be very soon. Now, we do have an expansion coming up for both players, but this is actually a pretty scary-looking push. I mean, he's got 4 Warhounds there, plenty of SCVs. He's got a couple of Hellions mixed in there. Let's check and see. One Hellion, actually, is all he's got. He's going to repair that right up. And he's got several Marines as well. Looking in the production tab, we do have Blink on the way, and oh, nice. He has moved down his Mothership Core here, so if he uses that Purify ability, honestly, I would have liked to have seen this Mothership Core with lower energy as well. Wow. just completely destroying one Stalker. They just comes a little bit too close, and Riff says, sorry, you don't get to have that Stalker. But here goes the battle here. Now 5 Warhounds coming in there, and honestly, 5 Warhounds can kill pretty much anything. Let's be honest. 5 Warhounds is going to kill this, especially with those SCVs in there repairing them. Has not lost a single Warhound yet at all. Now down to 2 Stalkers, now down to 1 Stalker, and that could be all she wrote. We'll check the unit stat. Yeah, that's all he's got. The Mothership Core was a little bit late on that Purify ability as well. Not quite able. Ooh, nice little blink there to save that Stalker. But I don't think that's going to be enough. He's now in the mineral line taking out SCVs. Remember, they do actually get to use their rocket ability against probes because they are considered mechanical units. Now 3 Warhounds against now 2 Stalkers. Yeah, not looking good for quEweA here. Now, they can't actually shoot the Mothership Core, which is actually turning out to be pretty amazing. He's taken out 1 Warhound already with that Mothership Core, with that Purify ability. Might be able to get the second one. Yes, he does, between the probes attacking and the Mothership Core. And he does have enough energy to do another Purify if he needs to. It looks like... activate it. Yep, there he goes. He's focusing on everything but what he needs to be right now. He should be killing those SCVs, but that's it. He goes ahead and calls game. Just 1 single G. That is game, ladies and gentlemen. That is over. Yeah, Warhounds. They're pretty good. Very, very nicely played from Riff, though. It certainly was not a matter of just the Warhounds getting him through there. He had some very quick thinking with some SCV repairs and so on. So good game to both players. I will see you guys in the next game.